next session, we have Graham Rong, Program Director of Corporate Relations, MIT. He'll be talking about generative AI's next frontier, challenging assumptions for leadership in an AI-driven world. So please give a huge round of applause for Graham.
Thank you. Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I'm glad to be back on this stage. I have a long history with this symposium. I'm so glad also to see so many old friends and also met a lot of new friends. My name is Graham Rong. It's not wrong, it's right. So, and my job actually at MIT is coordinate collaborations between MIT and outside, all the industry across the world. So we interact with, of course, the MIT super smart people, and also super smart people in industry, including the people over here. So today, what I'm going to present is, first of all, I present some assumptions. And then let's see if they are still right. And that means how we're going to address those or challenge those assumptions. You can feel free to ask questions even during the process. The first one I'm going to talk about, to ask is, the assumption is AI is just an assistant. I wonder if you agree or not. It is, but is that all? Okay, let's start this process. So that's assumption. Everybody will agree. But in reality, it's more than just that. We actually just had an AI conference last month. We got a really good number of people. And some of the people here actually, I think Michael, he actually moderated the panel at the conference too. So what we see is AI actually is now more than just an assistant. It's at least collaborate with human being. Of course, for instance, they can, if we imagine what we have done in the pharmaceutical industry, especially at least in the new drug research, by using proper tools in AI, you can discover and design new drugs, which human being alone will take a long time to make it possible. And of course, there are also other ways. I just want to make sure So I have some other other examples here as well. Nowadays, you can leverage AI actually, even simulate the market analysis and make predictions of your business. And also in legal industry, they use AI to do lots of work, to process lots of work also. And it's not just content generation, which is doing by now, we just say assistant. Now they are becoming, I want to say, at least a collaborator. And in fact, in certain situations, it can also help you discover, invent new stuff. For instance, we in MIT, we use AI to draft discovery arguments and research grants, applied research grants. That's not just generated contents, actually ideas. And of course, also do investment as well. So all this, we are leveraging AI. I give you some examples here. So this is an example, actually from a group on campus. They actually they made the AI to think, to reason, and also discover. For instance, here they use AI to you probably are familiar with synthetic data, right? They leverage AI to generative new data for your model for specific situations where the data is not easy to get. Through this process, actually you can make your model, first of all, more complete and more useful. And also using, I remember earlier speakers mentioned about agentic AI. Using multiple agent AI, you can team them together to solicit new data on the fly and also interact and even negotiate solutions. This is something I'm sure later on. I remember here the story about Walmart actually partner with a startup to do automatic negotiation procurement process. Something like this probably is already started. I don't know if anyone here, your organization have started using agentic AI to do this negotiation, but it's happening. And also reasoning models as well. So basically, I'll show you in the next slide. But I just want to say, multi-agent can reason, and also do the reasoning and also do the human AI collaboration. So this is something become more and more popular in academia. This is already happening. Has already been happening. And this one, I just want to say, if you look at that, the red part, that's a new, actually, certainly definitely a new program. You see, first of all, the advantage is scalability. You look at both the time scale and the length scale. And also for the reasoning, scientific reasoning, basically you can really include old scientific publications and research results, lab tests, all this into your reasoning, which in the past, if you do machine learning, you really just learn from the existing data. But now you can also including the data you can generate. I think this next point over here is you can, as I mentioned earlier, using synthetic data, you generate it through the AI, using AI to do the scientific reasoning. And also next is you can generate AI models that can really open the entire agentic system with for instance, you can facilitate the feedback dynamically and also generate and create I mentioned about this, your own data, but it can improve your model also. So it's not just a leveraged model you use, but it can improve the model. So what does this, what's the leadership implication in this here? First of all, we definitely need to recreate the workflow. That means it's not just a workflow, either AI or human work separately. Actually, you need to combine them together. You need to create a process, a framework where humans and AI can collaborate. But of course, the human part is I will mention a little bit later too. The human part, the skill will not be just to do the technical work alone. The people who work with using AI need to also have the really refine. You need to refine, and also need to validate, and also guide how the AI can work efficiently. So that's something we definitely want to emphasize, especially most people here are in a leadership position. So definitely should keep this in mind later on. Second one is AI trust calibration. So trust calibration means it's not just after you implement the AI model or AI process to validate if there's any bias or ethical problem. You need to embed this entire process in the workflow. So make sure, first of all, you got right data. And also, every step, you need to make sure you have the trust calibration. That means you need to make sure that the step follows the rules, and also you can validate that. That's basically the other way to say it is you can explain the results. If not, then definitely you want to make sure you ask yourself, and also need to re-implement the process. Dynamic growth, it's really more or less similar. You need to validate the process during the entire process, not afterwards. And also for human collaborators, you definitely need to play more than one roles. You need to collaborate with your AI. At the same time, need to guide. Yeah, and also find what AI can do the best for you, instead of just give them a task, do whatever they can do. So this is the process. So including all this, we want to say AI is not just an assistant to the human being, right? It can be definitely, as we put it here, the human and AI can collaborate as strategic partners. Second assumption I have here is AI will benefit low-skill worker first. Is this true or not true? Probably it's true, at least in many situations, right? But I just want to challenge this so we can really find out more potential opportunities for AI in our business. Is now it can augment and even challenge even high skill and high judgment domains. So it's not just in like a low skill work. It's in high skill work too. For example, in MIT, there's research on how generative AI can boost the highly skilled workers' productivity. And it has been found that generative AI has increased the highly skilled workers' productivity by more than 40%. And of course, if they can use the proper AI tools for their work. So of course, then we need to understand the second one, which is cognitive effect. Basically, AI is not like a flat everywhere. It's the same. For different problems, AI can work well, some cannot work well. So need to, based on your situation, basically we call it like a frontier. You can make sure, first of all, you don't over rely on the AI. to provide the results, to provide outcome. Second is you need to apply judgment and validate AI output. I think it's more important to, first of all, to understand where AI can do well, or where can not do well. So guide the AI to do the best they can do. And in this case, it will lead to the best outcome of it. And you can also customize the implementation. Basically, I already mentioned this, to embed this AI assistance or AI augmentation in the entire workflow. Also, how to make this happen? We're also, the MIT Sloan School Management did really a long-term research on this. First of all, the role reconfiguration. I think previous speakers mentioned about like the role change or upscale. Definitely, to work with AI, to best leveraging AI, to best leverage AI, even high-skill workers or all levels of workers, what you need to do more is how to guide AI, and also how to validate and challenge AI, and then make sure the results is explainable. So you can explain what the results is. If not, then you need to go back and redo this to avoid bias, to avoid ethic. Let me see what time it is. And another one is, of course, for AI to be really productive, also you need to train your people also. Whether it's high scale or low scale, you need to, the onboarding is very, very important. So basically, you need to have the culture actually even at the border level. So in this case, there will be definitely you will be able to leverage the AI the best. For the sake of time, let me just move quickly to next one. Yeah, I think I mentioned about this pretty much already gone through also the leadership implication. Let me move to the last one. More data equal to the better AI outcome. So I'm going to challenge this. You see, it was a good assumption at the beginning, but now I want to say smarter, more curated, and also even synthetic data will drive the frontier of AI application. So don't necessarily more data means it's better results. So we definitely want to use high quality and targeted data sets if it's possible. And the second, we want to generate synthetic data, which actually you can use AI, large language model, to create the synthetic data for you to use to improve the process. This is something actually some of our faculty members in material science and engineering, they found they can design a new material. Right now is in biological material by creating synthetic data, and they can find the results is much better than just traditional or the data you've got from the past. And last two, obviously, you need to be as a leader in your organization. You want to train the data with this purposely structured to get purposely structured data. That's exactly the same as you're trying to do synthetic data, because you want to make sure you want the data you have specific meaning in mind. One example is like you see data come from different sources of different types, but you can use data using specific presentation. Or I want to abstract representation of the data, and more. So in this case, make this data really more useful and also more meaningful to what you want to do. I remember earlier somebody mentioned about, like, say, large language model actually is very expensive to use. Yes, it is. But actually, it's only using a small percentage of that. So that's different. That's also meaning from economic perspective also. Just want to get to the leadership implication. So you see, you want to pivot the AI strategy. That's important. In MIT strategy, you want to make sure data is a key part in it. And you want to make sure you invest data invest in really quality and in data quality. That's also very, very important. And also make sure you start from the beginning, from data source, and make sure there's no bias, there's no ethics. And in the entire process, you check periodically, make sure every step. Definitely don't leave to the outcome. Then you say, well, this data is we see the bias. So that's actually my last point. You want to source the data which is ethical. I think that's what I have here. I'm not going to go through this in detail. There are a few prompt questions which is already in your sheet. Thank you.
Any questions?
Oh, yeah. Feel free to ask. I don't know how much time I have used.
If we have time for maybe one other question.
Yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to.
We can take it offline.
Okay, maybe it's just late. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.